brother. Good.
So, Otis Redding. How many people in here know who Otis Redding is? So if anybody know any Otis Redding song, they know this one. Now, I'm not a great singer, so I'm going to need a little help with it. But just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. All right, that's enough. See, I got a problem with that. Am I the only one to have a problem with sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time? Will we sit on the dock of the bay wasting food, or money, or heating oil, or gasoline? Why is time the only asset we'll sit and watch roll away? Is it because time, we can't see it like the other resources that we value? Is it because time doesn't sparkle or shine like diamonds? Because it's not transferable like currency? Maybe it's because we can't spend time like we spend money. Or can we? When I was young, somebody told me time is money. And I'm a visual person, so when I hear time is money, I think of me going out and buying things with my time. Like I'll give him 45 minutes and I'll get this in return. I'll give them 2 hours, I'll get that in return. What kind of world will we live in? Imagine a world where we could spend time like currency. My name is Jermaine Archer, and today I want to talk about time. Now, in full disclosure, I'm doing time right now. State time, prison time. One day I woke up in a maximum security prison, sentenced to 22 years to life for a crime I did not commit. So I made my way to the prison law library, and I found me a prison law clerk, and I was like, excuse me, I need your help. I'm in here for something I didn't do. He just shrugged, like, it don't matter. Yo, my man, I don't think you heard me. I said I'm in here for something I didn't do. He took his glasses off, looked right at me, and said, my man, I don't think you heard me. It don't matter. You're going to do the time regardless. And that blew me away. I mean, can you imagine? I'm brand new into the state penitentiary. This is a law clerk, so he obviously knows what he's talking about. And here he is telling me it don't matter if I'm guilty or not. And I remember thinking, if my innocence doesn't matter, what does? I have to find what matters. Now, when I grew up valuing stuff, things. So the more things I had, the happier I usually was. So early in my incarceration, I started accumulating things, money, jewelry, clothing, footwear. And over time, I replaced most of the things that I lost due to my incarceration. But it didn't matter how much money I saved or how many pairs of Timberlands I had under my bed, I wasn't getting any happier. And one day it kind of dawned on me that the money, the jewelry, the clothing, the footwear, they're all replaceable. But I was doing time. And no matter how much money I saved or how many clothing and articles of clothing and sneakers I bought, I would never be able to replace 1 second of time that passed while I was incarcerated. I had found what mattered to me, my time. Now, see, the courts understand how precious time is. That's why they take it as a last resort. They'll find creative ways to punish you. They'll confiscate your property, they'll fine you money, they'll put you on probation, they'll make you perform community service. But when they take your time, when they sentence you to time in prison, it's generally for something serious. One day I was talking to a colleague of mine, D.E. Marks, about the value of time, and he just made a remark like, casual, the only real difference between success and failure is how people use the same time. And I remember thinking, whoa, I don't even know if bro know how deep he just got with me. That's a profound, time is time. You know what I'm saying? We all get 24 hours in a day, whether you're free or you're incarcerated, whether you're guilty, whether you're innocent, whether you're in New York, whether you're in Shanghai. Time is time. Steve Jobs had 24 hours in a day. So did Einstein, Michelle Obama, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Steve Forbes. They all had 24 hours in this day. It's just they used them more efficiently. So in 2006, Bo Lozoff came, speaking of time. Bo Lozoff visited Sing Sing, and he wrote a great book called We're All Doing Time. And I remember when I saw the cover of that book, I was blown away again, because we're all doing time. Time on earth is a life sentence, and I'm just serving part of my time in a maximum security prison. But I get 60 seconds out of every minute, 60 minutes out of every hour, 24 hours out of every day, just like everybody else in this room. We're all doing time. So it came a time when I felt the need to commoditize my time, to find a way to spend this time and get something in return for it. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna make me a to-do list. That's what I need. This is gonna work right here. So I got me a to-do list, and these are the things I'm gonna spend my time on. I'm gonna learn a foreign language, and I'm gonna earn me a college degree, and I'm gonna learn how to play a musical instrument, and I got me some highlighters, and I covered up the papers and made sure I could see it every morning when I woke up. I saw that list on my cell wall, and I look at it and I would feel good. And every night when I went to sleep, I was like, what happened? I didn't get any of that stuff done. Where did the time go? And then I would sit back and think, okay, what did I do today? I played dominoes for a couple of hours. I watched TV for about 4 hours. I sat in the yard talking about absolutely nothing for about 3 hours. I was spending all my time on recreational activities. And when you think about that in hindsight, it makes recreation less fulfilling. Because recreation is supposed to be like a temporary escape from work or school or chores or duty. But when you spend all your time doing recreational things, it's no longer recreation. That's just how you spend your time. And I was spending my time and getting nothing in return. So I went back to myself. I took that to-do list down. I said, can't work with that. That ain't gonna work. This failed. I feel like I'm counting time. I made a can't-do list. I made a list of things, can't do. It's a list of things I can't do if I'm trying to get where I'm going, you know? I can't play dominoes all afternoon. I can't sit around talking about nothing all day. It's just not gonna work. And I stuck to that list, and I wasn't worried about what I was doing. I made sure I wasn't doing the things I wasn't supposed to be doing. And I started seeing progress. I would look back at my day and say, what did I do today? I learned a couple of French words. Très bien. You know, I learned some stuff about accounting, dual principle, bookkeeping, and accounts receivable, accounts payable. I got a good workout. I called my family. I feel good. I even remember some of the German that I was studying. Sehr gut. You know, things was happening, and I felt good. And I remember walking by the table one day, and the guys called me to play dominoes, and they was like, yo, come on, come play dominoes. I can't do it. And they was like, come on, man, you don't play with us no more. You think you better than us? And I was like, nah, man, we just got to live now, man. I can't spend 22 years playing dominoes. I just can't do it. And they would tell me I'm getting stush and I'm getting funny. And I was like, listen, life ain't waiting for us, man. I know you want to go home and open up a construction firm, and you want to go home and be a personal trainer, and you want to go home and be a lawyer. We got to do some of these things now. And we don't get no timeouts. There's no timeouts. There's no stop time in life. So some of them agreed with me, and some of them looked at me like I was crazy. But I kept on going. And over time, I realized two important things, two very important lessons that I learned. One, people that think something is impossible shouldn't get in the way of people doing that impossible thing. You know what I'm saying? Get out of my way. I got things to do. And two, talking about what we need to do, that's important. But it shouldn't be confused with action. You know, we just talking about what we need to do. We still got to go around and do it. So to make a short story shorter, I was spending my time wisely. And in exchange, I was speaking French. Out of the blue, I woke up. Parce que je dois faire quelque chose avec mon temps. People was like, what is he talking about? Yeah. You know, my Spanish, I was speaking good Spanish. Porque otra vez, yo tengo hacer algo con mi tiempo. And people surprised because they would come and be like, wie geht's? And I say, wie geht es Ihnen? Das tut mir leid. Ich spreche nur wenig Deutsch. I was speaking German, parlo Creole, io studio Italiano. It was just happening. I earned a master's degree. I played music with professional musicians from Carnegie Hall. I performed in Shakespeare with rehabilitation through the arts. I helped create a short film with Voices from Within to reduce gun violence and youth violence. I actually helped create a documentary to talk about the importance of education in prison, something I'm really passionate about. I emceed the first TEDx event in the New York State Prison. I felt good. You know, suddenly I didn't feel like I was in prison anymore. Suddenly doing time felt good, work felt good, school felt good, rest felt good. And when I felt like doing it, recreation felt good. And I remember a time I ran into a guy named Bruce Bryant, and he used to always try to track me down. Jermaine, I need to talk to you. I ain't got time. Jermaine, I want to talk to you. Not now, can't do it. And one day he cornered me at my job, at my program, and said, I'm on to you, Slick. And I said, what you talking about? He said, you figured it out. I said, why, whatever do you mean? He said, you done figured out a way, you not serving time no more. You found out a way to make time serve you. That was the biggest compliment he could have ever gave me. I felt so good because that's exactly what I wanted to do. I explained to him, time is precious, man. We all come into this world with a limited amount of time. And no matter what you do, once you spend that time, you can never get it back. So we got to talking about it, and I let him know I'm never going to worry about the time that was spent, but I'm going to make sure that the time I do spend now is going to be spent wisely. Now, I have a couple of questions before I leave. How many of you have ever heard, you know what a deathbed request is, right? Everybody know what a deathbed request is. It's kind of like when someone has a certain amount of time left to live and they make a final request. Have you ever heard anyone in that condition ask for $1 million? Or a diamond necklace, or, Maserati? No. You know why? Because when that time comes, none of that matters. You know what matters? Time. They always end up asking for a little more time to do things a little differently before time's up. My time on the stage is almost up, so I have 2 final questions for you. The first question is, you ever ask yourself, where did the time go? Like time just flew by all of a sudden. I was 27 the other day, now I'm, I don't know how old, 40-something, 50-something. I went to sleep, it was New Year's, today is February 7th. Where did the time go? Time didn't go by any faster. You still had 24 hours in every day. Maybe you were just sitting on the dock of the bay. Wasting time, I don't know. But my final question is, are you ready to redefine your time? Everybody ready to redefine your time? I can't give you a pill. I don't have a truth serum. I don't have no magic meal. But what I could give you is 3 small steps that'll get you on the right path. And it's not rocket science and it's not high finance. Step 1. Now don't lose. I don't want to lose you now. Step 1. Every once in a while, look back and see what you are spending the majority of your time on in your days. What is the bulk of my time going to? Is it social media? Is it exercise? Is it work? Whatever it is, determine that. Step 2, find out the ROI, the return on investment. What am I getting from the time that I'm spending on these activities? Am I profiting? Am I losing? What's going on? If I'm exercising all day, am I getting fit? Whatever it is, get your profit or loss margin. Step 3, figure out which of those things don't work for you and put them on the can't-do list. Can't do these things no more. With those 3 steps, you could take time into your hand, you could turn it into a now, you could commoditize it, you could knead it like flour or shape it like clay. You could do whatever you want with it. It's your time. You can spend it like money and get something in exchange. You can do whatever you want with it. The only thing you can't do is stop time. Speaking of which, that's my time. I'm Jermaine Archer. Thank you for your time.